Okay guys, so today I'm going to be covering what I call the sealed cache rotation. It's going to be the primary way that I gear up my character as soon as 1.4 drops. I think that anyone out there right now has the ability to maximize this in terms of efficiency already before the patch drops. There's some prep work you can do to get even more out of it, and even if you do nothing between now and 1.4, this will still work extremely well as soon as the patch drops. Now, one thing to note is that a lot of players have kind of a built-up stash of currency. A lot of people have, a significant amount of Dark Zone funds. They have a significant amount of normal credits. This is a PTS character, so I don't have them. I'll be demonstrating exactly what you need to do step by step, but I won't be actually doing it myself. On my 1.3 character, however, I will be doing this as soon as the patch drops. So the first thing to note is that DZ funds and regular credits, you're going to get more of them now, especially with the patch. I want to demonstrate something for you real quickly. Once patch 1.4 goes live, as you can see, I'm selling a gun, a fully modded gun, for over 250,000 credits now. Regardless of how good the mods are, regardless of how good the gun is, you need to be keeping all of your guns, fully modding them with whatever trash mods you pick up in the Dark Zone or get from, HVTs or from incursions. Just fully mod the guns, throw them in your stash, maximize your inventory space, and gear up and get ready to then sell them as soon as 1.4 drops. If you have like 10 guns like this, fully modded with, just trash mods that you've picked up along the way, you can sell them all for over 250,000. That's going to equate to well over 2.5 million. And in the end, it's just going to give you more currency to work with when doing this rotation of sealed cache, buying, selling, deconstructing, etc. So I'm going to demonstrate that now. I'll show you step by step. So the first thing, when you log in, after you've sold all the stuff from 1.3 that you don't want, I can't actually demonstrate because I'm not on my 1.3 character. However, I would normally have a stash that's just full of stuff. I mean, on this PTS character I would be selling most of these things because, I'm going to get more plentiful loot after 1.4 is live. And a lot of these things I would have, geared up specifically to be sold in 1.3. So let's say you mod out all your chest pieces. I would advise actually equipping whatever kind of trash mods that you find into all these slots on every single chest piece that you have. It just increases the value, the per slot value of the item, and then you can sell it, get more credits, etc. But I would clean my stash. I would keep maybe 30 to 40 items in my stash, and I would probably keep about 20 to 30 items in my inventory, give myself a lot of leeway and room to work with, and then I would come over here to spend my Dark Zone funds. So step one, now that we actually get into the sealed cache rotation, is coming to this Dark Zone gear vendor in the base of operations, going in and buying as many of these as you feel like buying. You don't have to spend all your currency on them. They only cost 50,000 per, so if you have something like 5 million Dark Zone funds, you can buy as many as you feel like for a very long time. But you're going to buy as many of these as you want to. They're going to give you high-end items. They have a chance at gear sets. They can give you a variety of things. They're going to give you 10 to 20 Phoenix credits per cache. Now, that's important to note for later. If you do cap out your Phoenix credits, then you can go spend some, and I'll show you where to do that in the future. But as you're opening these, make sure you're not wasting the Phoenix credits, and make sure that you're, accurately logging and calculating what you're going to keep and what you're not going to keep. But once you've done this, you've purchased as many of these as you want to, you're going to move over to this vendor over here in the base of operations, and you're going to sell all of the gear that you don't want. Now, after you've sold all the gear that you don't want, and deconstruct it, if you feel like, if you really need crafting materials, you can deconstruct, but I would advise to sell, because look at the selling prices. Like right here, I can sell this MP5 ST for almost 260,000, and you can sell regular guns unmodded for 85,000. That's a really big price jump. So after you've sold everything that you don't want, made sure to keep what you do want, then you're going to come down here and buy the basic sealed caches for 200,000 regular credits per. Now, important thing to note, they give 5 to 15 Phoenix credits, again, so make sure you're not wasting Phoenix credits, but from here you can also get, gear set pieces, you can get weapons, you can get a variety of things, you can get high-end gear pieces that are all maxed out in gear score, and you can start to min-max your build further. It's going to be really, helpful. Once you've opened as many of those as you want to, or your inventory is full, you can just sell back to this vendor everything that you don't want and rinse and repeat. And you can do this as many times as you have the currency for. And once you fully finish that loop and you've spent all of your currency on those sealed caches and gotten all the gear and, traded up and upgraded all your different gear sets or, your builds, etc., then you're good to go. You probably have a lot of Phoenix credits by then. Currently, I only have 175, but I'm guessing that after this entire rotation, most players will have well upwards of 1,000 or have maxed out and already had to spend some. You can spend the Phoenix credits on re-rolling guns, or you can come down here. This is the third section of the sealed cache rotation that I'm going to be using as soon as the patch drops. and you can spend your Phoenix credits right here at the special equipment vendor. You go all the way down here, and this guy sells sealed caches, weapon sealed caches, gear sealed cache, mods, and gear sets specifically. So if you need weapons, go ahead and buy these. If you have 1,700 credits, that's 17 weapons guaranteed. Maxed out gear score 229. If you want gear set pieces, go ahead and buy these, etc., etc. It's important to note that the mods drop both gear mods and weapon mods, so it's not a guaranteed electronics gear mod or anything like that. It actually has a high probability of being a weapon mod due to the amount of different ones that can drop. But in the same breath, it's really good to be able to select at least a guaranteed chance at a mod instead of knowing that you can get anything out there. So it's really good to have these options. You can spend your Phoenix credits on these, and then once you've spent as many Phoenix credits as you choose to and open those, you can then either deconstruct if you want crafting materials, or you can sell the gear that you got out of these sealed caches directly back to this vendor, get a significant portion of money, run back up, and buy more standard basic sealed caches from the base of operations vendor that give more Phoenix credits, and they give more items which you can then sell back. You can rinse and recycle and spend your currency a lot farther. You can stretch your currency to a lot longer lengths now with this system. Dark Zone funds are actually going to be really key for this, and because they cost about 50,000 per instead of 200,000, and because they give 10 to 20 Phoenix credits, which make these definitely the most plentiful starting point for the rotation. You're going to get as much gear as you can out of this. You can get as many Phoenix credits as possible, and this is the system that I'm going to be using on all my characters as soon as 1.4 goes live on console. I'll be in the base for about 5 hours straight, min-maxing multiple builds using this method. I have about 3.5 million Dark Zone funds on my main character, which is nowhere near the amount that a lot of players have. I know that, but it's still more than enough to get just a huge amount of gear, a ton of stuff to draw from to create maybe not fully min-max builds in 1.4, but builds that are definitely going to be competitive in the Dark Zone for a variety of purposes, have a lot of different mechanics at play, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I made this video because it was extremely requested. A lot of people asked me to go over this in stream a few times, and then also, in a video. So I'm sorry if it feels like, maybe it's content that other people have covered already, or maybe people already realize this and they were like, oh, duh, of course I'm going to be doing that. But again, one of the most important things that I would say is just start putting all of the trash mods that you get. It doesn't matter what's on them. If you get a magazine that has horrible attributes, who cares? Throw it on a horrible gun and then just wait until 1.4 drops to sell it. Because if you have, let's say, 20 guns that are fully modded, that's already going to be over 5 million credits that you can just easily get. So take advantage of your stash space, take advantage of your inventory space. As soon as 1.4 drops, take advantage of the currencies and the rotation of seal caches to get as much gear as possible within that first 10 to 20 hour period, because that's going to give you that window where you're stronger than everyone else. You're stronger than the people that aren't using these methods, that aren't fully maximizing their returns on currency, and cutting down on the time it takes to gear. The people that go directly into the Dark Zone without doing something like this and min-maxing a new build for 1.4 are going to get absolutely destroyed, because the people that have done something like this and taken advantage of learning the PTS mechanics before it drops into the live game are going to be able to put together a build that performs well, because everyone running around with Shotgun Sentry is going to see diminished returns from that set, and people running around with a prepped out Police M4 or something like that with Vicious and Unforgiving and a 3-piece Predator's Mark, 3-piece Hunter's Faith build are going to see hugely increased results from a build like that, especially in PvP. So that's just my sealed cache rotation. Hopefully this helps and gives some valuable information for gearing up. If you want to see more information from the channel, if you want to support us in any way, please check out the links below. We have a wonderful Facebook group and Discord channel, which are both linked in the description below. You can click those and sign up. A lot of grouping tools, weekly, events, there's farming groups, etc. And there's an initiative called the DZ911 now to help people extract if they find god roll items, just to really help the players in the community with their quality of life in the division, because God knows there's enough negativity and toxicity in this game already. Outside of that, we do have merchandise available. The t-shirt link is in the description below. It's only a limited runtime. We will have weekly State of the Upper Echelon, videos going out, talking to the community about everything that's going on. And outside of that, there's a whole bunch of ways to get involved and integrated with us and become an active participant. We will have regular giveaways now on the Twitch streams, etc. There's a lot going on, and we're really excited for it. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and as always, have a nice day.